I'm really looking forward to Thoppil Joppan's release because it's going to be a very light, fun comedy film in which I have played a medical college student. I'm very happy I've been able to do that, especially with a movie with Dilip Etten. Again, we had come together and there's some magic that is, created when we come together on screen.
But I'm seeing too many divorces coming.
It was suffocating for me. There are a few factors. I was fighting my own battle.
Don't really need
I
to
wouldn't
work.
say a millionaire family. We're a middle class family. In Tamil Nadu, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who don't know Daddy Mummy was sung by me. And I just love the way this journey through cancer has transformed me as a person. It's time for me to branch out and tell the world that I'm not that sick person anymore.
Welcome to Red Carpet. Here I have with me the lovely Mamta Mohandas. And Mamta is rocking right now in Malayalam cinema. And she's all set to do more films in all South Indian languages and in Tamil too. Welcome to the show, Mamta.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sridhar. Nice. Thank you for having me.
You have acted with all the top 5 leading stars
Yes, I have.
of Malayalam cinema. And I think they have all good opinion about you. I mean, you are not in any particular camp or anything like that.
No. Because, I think I'm way too friendly and way too human to get locked to a particular type of work group or work culture. I worked with senior directors, I worked with new directors, I worked with old and new actors.
Now, I saw the trailer of Thoppil Joppan you are doing with Mammootty.
Yeah.
Tell us about that film, because that you are just going on praising him in the teaser and looks really good. That is, we are expecting a mass masala movie from.
Yeah, it's very convincing. It's very believable. I think my audience really believes me all the time. And the feedback that I got from some of my friends is, if Mamta says it, then we have to believe it. So yes, I'm really looking forward to Thoppil Joppan's release because it's going to be a very light, fun comedy film in which I have played a medical college student.
Wow.
And the role was quite fun. I'm very full of life and doesn't care two hoots about,
Do you have running around tree songs with Mammootty in the movie?
I have one song in the film, but it's not running around trees. Thankfully, it's rain all around me. So it was dancing in the rain for the first time. So it was quite strenuous, but we did it. Yeah, but it's not a love song. It's me enjoying nature.
How is it working with Mohanlal?
Laletan and I think, share a more intelligent relationship than people saying, oh, Laletan is very friendly, he's very easy to work with. But beyond all that, I think we have always had a very mindful conversations about metaphysics and certain interesting topics like that. And there's something that Laletan has always told me. Nature's way is to disorganize. So in life, our biggest challenge is to organize things again. And we're trying to fight. There's certain things that nature does in its own way. So this is something that every time he sees me, he tells me the same thing. Like, you told me this is the same thing the last time we met. So we recently met for a very beautiful event that we did together in Singapore. And it's after a long time that I was interacting with Laletan again. And the amount of effort he puts and all that experience that he's had, one of the finest actors that we have ever seen.
Yeah, he's definitely the best.
The best. I mean, I have no words to express how good he is as an actor, the way he's so believable on screen. And I think I'm quite struck every time I meet him. And also the act that he had put together in Singapore during a recent event was something that came out of not just sheer performance sake, but out of a lot of thought, He's written a lot, he's practiced a lot, he's worked hard. Even being such a big, famous actor, he's worked so much to develop that sort of content for that show. And I think that is the biggest, sign of a successful actor and a successful person.
How was it working with Mamuka?
Mamuka and I are...
You just completed your new film.
I just did my...
Thoppil Joppan.
Yes, Thoppil Joppan with him. So he's the first so-called mega star that I would have worked with, because my first film with him was Bus Conductor, which was my second film in my career. And I played his sister. So I have moved from playing his sister
to his heroine,
to playing his... I'm not his heroine in this movie. I've never really played Mamuka's heroine. Not in Varsham, not in Thoppil Joppan either. In Thoppil Joppan, I'm playing a girl who's a medical college student. So there is a very obvious age difference between us, which is a part of the script as well. But eventually, we come together in the film. So, which is actually suspense, but oops, I just gave it away. But Mamuka and I, again, I broke the... You want to break the ice with a person like Mamuka, because he's believed to have a very stiff image and very hard to work with. So I managed to do that right from Bus Conductor days. I think we got into a little bit of an argument, and he didn't give up, neither did I give up. So that's how we broke the ice. He was like, okay, I don't think she's an easy person to deal with. And we both had to come to a situation where we were like, okay, let's just forget about what happened yesterday and be amicable with each other.
Maas ennu parnja pora, marana maas. Acha ennu parnja, idana acha.
But what went wrong with your marriage, short-lived marriage also? Is it something to do with the cancer? Or?
I wouldn't say it doesn't. It has. There's a lot of... it's several factors. So I was just 25 years old when I got married. I think I was very innocent, extremely innocent, and I think most actresses are, and that's how like we were talking about it, that we end up getting married at a point when we're not even...
many divorces coming.
Yeah.
It's coming. I mean, it's very sad that when you're top of your career, you get married, and at the end of the day, I mean, within 1 or 2 years, you separate. I mean, that's really sad to hear.
I think marriage for most young heroines happens as a part of the whirlwind career that we are having. That is how it happens. We are still excited, we are young, we are excited, we are fiery, we fall in love. We are not mindful of certain things or a role that probably a woman has to play as a wife once she's married, especially to conventional South Indian men. Which is very hard, because we are not even aware of the changes that is going to occur after marriage happens. But once this awareness comes into play with maturity and everything, I think there could be a possibility of handling both work and home in a smarter manner. I see a lot of people having a lot of successful women in the United States now, because I'm living in LA. Men think so differently over there. Some of the friends that I have...
South Indian conventional men underline the word.
Yes, I have to say that, because a lot of men still believe the same thing inside them. Somewhere inside them, they have been exposed to an upbringing which is still pertaining to treating their wives and somehow keeping successful women suppressed and making them feel like they don't deserve good treatment anymore. Because honestly, I mean, I don't want to be this direct about it, but I really don't.
It may be a fact.
It is a fact, and because I was once asked a question, why do I have to ask you how you're doing when the whole world is asking you that anyway? And that is not something I need to listen to from a partner. I don't think any woman deserves that. That's not the reason you're married to this person. It's a choice we make as well, right?
So would you say that actresses at the peak of their career should not marry, or they should retire and leave once they get married? You can't take.
I think you should be in a beautiful romantic relationship that can grow you as a human being, as a woman, that challenges you to be at your best. But why get into a commitment of marriage then, if it's going to bring you down? And I think every woman has to be smart and mindful about it. Use your brain as opposed to using your emotions when going into a marriage. Because it is it's a very challenging role to play. More than any of the characters that we would have done in a cinema.
Yeah.
Because this is real life and this is life's real test. And I think most of us have gone into it, and there are still many women who choose marriage out of sheer innocence.
Yeah, like you said, you were innocent at that particular age and you got into the marriage. But within 1 year, you got out of it. Why?
Yes, less than 1 year. It was suffocating for me. There are a few factors. I was fighting my own battle.
With cancer.
With cancer. It was not over for me. I only wanted someone who would completely be sweet to me 24/7. I don't think men are ever like that, or I don't think real relationships are like that. Because marriage comes with its own challenges, where you have a role to play as well as a wife. Was I able to do that at that point? No. I was not even aware of what the role of what is expected of me. I'm not aware of it because I was at a point where I was very successful in my career. I had movies like Kaduthudaranu, Anwar, all these films had come out, and I was at the peak of my career when I just decided to tie myself down. And I honestly feel it was a stupid decision.
Oh, you say it's a stupid decision?
Yes, it was a stupid decision.
Were you in love with him, or were you before your marriage, or was it arranged marriage, family?
No,
pressures?
it was.
Because I heard he was your childhood friend in Bahrain and all. That was what the media had made out.
Yeah, so we, Prajit and I were, we are childhood. We know each other. We know of each other. We know that we know this family exists in Bahrain because we're both in Bahrain. Bahrain is such a tiny place.
Yeah,
that is how we knew of each other. So when we met we met in 2011. Our engagement was in 2011 and our marriage was in 2011. So how's that? So it was
a whirlwind marriage.
Yes, as just a part of, it was just another, I think it was just another end of my, just happened along with all the other movies that I was doing. Just another thing that I was doing. And I think both of us lacked maturity at that time. So
he knew you had cancer.
Yes, of course. The entire family knew about it. It's not something that we would or ever could
hide
contain because it's a very obvious condition. If someone has cancer in your family, everybody knows about it. Because
and you told him that you want to continue with your career? Was it that made clear?
Yes, I mean, obviously, one of the most stupid thing a woman could tell to a person whom she's going to get married is, I hope someday maybe, I might stop. You're not even sure about it. What is it that you really want? So I think I had given an explanation which I never told him that I would stop my career fully, but I knew that at some point, women, we slow down anyway. So that was my belief at that time. But right after marriage, or as it was happening, or as my engagement happened and I was getting into the marriage, did I feel that, I felt that he was going to be a great support, as all women, expect or hope. It's going to be very easy. Nothing's going to change. This is the biggest misconception.
Yeah.
We believe that nothing is going to change and everything is just going to remain the way it is.
How do you manage in LA as a single girl?
Managing in LA as a single person is easier because everybody is
India.
single. Yeah, because everybody in LA and New York are single. Pretty much everybody. Most of the young population, they're all single. And everyone's trying to, I think their prime focus is on being happy. And that could mean anything. I could be in a romantic relationship with someone, but is it something that you want to call a relationship and totally jinx? Maybe not. I have met serial daters, so I get to hear a lot about relationships now. I think moving to LA has also given me a very clear outlook on how I should approach my career choices hereafter. It's somehow made me more goal-oriented now. like I clearly know what I want now, and I enjoy my life to the fullest. I have complete freedom over there. Certain things which I've never been able to do while I was here in India, I'm able to do it there. Like just rent a car overnight, go for long drives, endless. I'm not answerable to anybody.
And nobody stares at you?
Nobody stares at me. Grocery shopping is so much fun, which I've never done here. So there are certain pleasures of life which I'm taking over there. I spend endless hours on the beach. I don't get to do all that here. Lie out there and, you know, kiss the sun and feel the breeze, and it's such a great city.
വെളു വെളുത്തൊരു പെണ്ണ് കുടി കുടിച്ചെന്ന് കള്ള്
Being an actress, it also helps you being financially independent?
100%, and I need to keep that coming because it's very important, because now I'm completely supporting myself. I'm not looking to get that care, or I think that belief that
But you're coming from a millionaire family, so you don't really need
I
to
wouldn't
work.
say a millionaire family. We're a middle class family that has thankfully
But
graduated
your dad
to.
has been in Bahrain for years.
My dad is an investment banker. It's a misconception that all NRIs are millionaires. No. My dad has millionaire clients, but that doesn't make my dad a millionaire. There are still family, we are a very, very simple family between Kannur and Talasheri. There are still family members related to my dad and mom who take support from NRIs. So there are families that live on NRI support in my family. So we are a very, very normal family. And honestly, when it came to furthering my treatment in India, for which I needed a drug that needed to be imported here, it was not something that was remotely affordable to keep myself alive. And that is how I chose to be on this clinical trial, for which my only expenditure would be my cost of living in LA and my frequency of flights. But apart from that, the treatment in itself, which once approved, is going to be something which is going to be very hard
Yeah, it
to.
must be very expensive.
It's going to be very hard to
because
afford
it's
it.
state of art treatment also.
Yeah, and since I'm on research right now, I get the treatment for free. So I'm basically a guinea pig at this moment.
Oh, because you are on research.
Yes, and I'm doing it for the world. This
But
is
I'm
my
so
service.
happy to see you smiling, and you know you do. When people sympathize with you, how do you feel? Because they'll say, no, avalu oru cancer patient aanu.
Ama, pavam அந்த பொண்ணு.
Yeah.
I hear this so much. I'm like, what is that about?
Yeah.
I'm healthier than, I believe that I'm healthier mentally and physically than a lot of other people that you're surrounded
so what
with.
exactly what you want now is you want to do films which attracts you more than anything else.
Yeah, for sure, because
Roles which are challenging.
the roles, especially the roles that I clearly know that I've missed out on a lot of opportunities, good opportunities which I was unavailable to do during the last 7 years of my career. So it's time for me to branch out and, you know, tell the world that I'm not that sick person anymore, and I'm in good health and in good spirits, and
whether you are a cancer survivor and thing, that's your personal thing now at the moment. You will live for some more years, hopefully.
no, I'm going to be living a very, very long time.
Yeah, very, 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 very long time. So that helps also a lot. I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions. People come and say sympathy factor.
Yes, because I've and this sympathy has primarily come from the industries where I have not been visible, which is obviously, you know, Tamil and Telugu industries. But don't they hear about my consistent hits in Malayalam? They do. I'm not trying to, you know, tell anyone that I want to be on the top or anything, but I would like to spread my reach and spread my visibility, and also, like I said, take back all the opportunities that I probably would have lost. So that's my prime focus right now, along with, and thankfully next year opens with a film that looks very promising. Which is actually under discussion. It might be a crossover film, which is going to be done in Malayalam, Tamil and in English. So that's currently under discussion.
Good director?
Yeah, it's a good director, and not in a position to give out details right now. My co-star has actually announced the film already. So I'm excited about that project. And it's also going to give me an opportunity to finally speak completely in English, which is, I'm very comfortable doing that. And of course in Tamil as well as Telugu, in Tamil and Malayalam.
ഇതാണ് ഫിലിം സെല്ലുലോയിഡ് എന്നാണ് സായിപ്പ് പറയുന്നത്.
You had done very well in Telugu film industry, and
yeah.
as a singer, you've reached a dizzy heights.
Oh yeah. But talking about the singing aspect of it, there are still people who, in Tamil Nadu, unfortunately, there are a lot of people who don't know Daddy Mummy was sung by me.
Yeah, Daddy Mummy. Well, why don't you just sing Daddy Mummy? It's the most popular song ever. Yeah.
It's still shown in movies, right? Yeah.
Please.
Daddy Mummy vittililla tadapoda yarumilla vilayadu oma ulla villala. Hey kilenda mama idu indoor game theriyada ninna adu romba shame vilayattu rule nee meeraatti foul yallaigal daandu adu daanda goal. Thank you.
So, are you also open to doing songs in Tamil cinema? Because songs are a very big factor in commercial cinema in Tamil.
Yeah. I am. I've always been open to it. In fact, there are a few other songs in Tamil which I have sung. Like there are other styles of mine which I have sung which people are not even aware of. There was a song called Idavari Oru Moodal, say, in Goa. And my first song was actually for G.V. Prakash, which a lot of people don't know about, for a movie called Kale. It was a nice melody actually, picturized on Vedika and Simbu. Kala Kala. It was a beautiful melody. So that's remains one of my favorite ever recorded songs, as opposed to anything else that I've sung.
A bit of that.
Kala 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 adangada Kala Mela 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 en kaadalun mela உன்னோடு நானும் எங்கு என்னோடு நீயும் எங்கு நான் என்று காண்பது கனவா தினமும் நான் பார்க்கணும் கூட நான் இருக்கணும் நீ என்ன அணுக்கணும் முத்தம் கொடுக்கணும் செல்லமாக நீ கடிக்கணும். Yeah, that's how the song goes.
And the Goa song also is good.
It is a good song. It was a very fast song. I remember it being picturized and I was kind of alarmed. This is the way it's taken. It goes, Idavari oru moodal say, Idavari oru thedal say, Idaveli indra kaadal say, oh Snehita.
You and Shankar.
Yeah, that was for Yavan. Yeah, okay. Benny Dayals.
Benny.
Daddy Mummy vitillilla tadapoda yarumilla vilayadu oma ulla villala.
Mamta, we've been hearing that it's a fact that you're a cancer survivor and you pulled it off beautifully.
Yeah.
In the sense that you haven't made a hue and cry or you never tried to hide it. So how was it in the last 6 years? It must have been terrible. And I'm told that you had a relapse also twice.
Yeah, a few times. Yes, it was very, very difficult. I will not lie about it. I did not make a hue and cry to the outside world because this is my silent battle. And I think I have somehow managed to fight a lot of silent battles successfully, being an only child. Because it's a pattern which is already there inside me. I go into a space where I don't even want to be a burden to my parents because I don't like that feeling. So some of my biggest lessons have been in life has been from my battle through cancer. And relapsing wasn't pleasant at all. But cutting the long story short, having failed all conventional treatments that India had to offer for me, I finally made the move to Los Angeles when an immunotherapy clinical trial was announced. And currently I'm on research, and that's been going so well for me, it's given me my life back.
So what you're saying is you're relocating yourself to LA, worked in your favor, and now you're back.
It did, yes. And now I'm completely back. I'm back to life, living a full-time. I travel and work like no other.
You're looking still that radiant, that smile is there, everything is there. There's not even a telltale sign of cancer.
I'm glad. I think it's also what I do Because getting back to normal, like normal life and looking like you normally would.
No, you're playing heroine.
Yes.
Nobody has done that in cinema.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I think I was faced with this battle at a very young age. I was just 24. And out of the 10 years that we are talking about, 6 years have gone in just battling this and still managing to stay on screen.
Out of 10 years of your career, 6 years you're battling cancer.
Yeah. And has my battle, it's not, I wouldn't say it's not come to an end. But I have embraced this battle completely now. It's a part of me. And maybe every day is a fight. And I think every person, a normal person, wakes up to some sort of fight internally. But I'm free of that fight.
Okay.
My fight is at another, it's at another level. And I feel that my soul is stronger than a lot of, I don't worry about petty things anymore.
Okay.
And I just love the way this journey through cancer has transformed me as a person.
ചെന്തെങ്ങിൻ ചാരത്ത് തെങ്ങോലത്തുമ്പത്ത് ചങ്ങാത്തം കൂടാനായി വന്ന പൂമ്പാറ്റയെ.
How is it working with the younger generation like Prithvi Raj?
I've done a couple of films with him, very different films, Anwar as well as Celluloid. He's an actor that I respect a lot, very matured actor. What I found very, very intriguing about him is his, there are certain small things about an actor that you would always remember. And it is his presence of mind. Raju's got an amazing presence of mind, and he's aware of his part in that scene, as well as every single word that another person has to do, every single action the other person has to say. So he's very present in every single scene that we do. And I've learned that as one of the biggest qualities that I would want to absorb from an actor, a young actor, because you don't come across many young actors who are as aspiring as a Prithvi was. I'm talking about back in 2009 and 11 when I worked with him. So our next project hopefully will be next year. So I'm looking forward to that.
So you'll be working with all these people once again?
Yes, I am working with Prithvi beginning of next year. So that's the project I was telling about. So he's recently announced it, and hopefully it's all gonna work out, and hopefully I'll be back in Tamil that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Two Countries. You're simply awesome in that film. You carried the film and such a big hit. Tell us about Two Countries and the role you played in that movie, because it's such a role which no mainstream heroine would dare to do that. I mean, you have done things like being an alcoholic, being shown as an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So what's your comment on that movie?
Well, I'm glad that I had a movie like Two Countries after a slight hiatus, if you want to say, you could call it that.
Yeah.
And definitely Two Countries gave me an opportunity to, even though it was a film with a lot of commercial elements, it did have something very unique for me to portray in it and challenge a certain aspect of myself, which is playing the role of an alcoholic girl who had a problem being raised as the only child to separated parents. So there's so much which is not me in that character. And I think that was the biggest challenge as a heroine for me to play. And being an alcoholic, that is something which I had to, I think I had mentioned this to you yesterday, that I had to place a lot of people that I had taken influences from in my life to be able to, play that and do justice to that character and make it very believable on screen. So yes, I have been quite blessed with a movie like Two Countries. I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, and the role was pretty difficult.
It was.
Yeah, but you had equal footing with Dilip, and you rocked in the comedy scenes also. You were able to take the film forward in such a big way.
I'm glad. I'm very happy I've been able to do that, especially with the movie with Dilip Etten. As you know, My Boss was a successful
My Boss,
film.
and your pairing with Dilip is always worked.
Yes, and also a very different kind of movie was Arige, which was Shyam Prasad's movie.
Yeah.
Again, we had come together, and there's some magic that is, created when we come together on screen. And I think we have proved over time.
Arige was more art house type
Yes,
of movie.
it was more of an art house type movie, and before that we had the first compact, new generation kind of film which we did together, which was Passenger.
Passenger was something really out of the world. And
yeah.
Passenger worked also big time at the box office.
Yes.
Because the story unique, and the character you portrayed in the film also went a long way in establishing yourself as a hero.
And it had a very brisk method of storytelling as well. For the kind of films that was coming during that time in 2009, 2010.
Okay.
Passenger was a very different treat with me and Dilip Etten coming together for the first time. But I think our pairing has quite successfully, we've proved it over time that it works.